Director Barney,
Also here.
Director Allred, here. Director Morgan, absent. That's it.
I'll help you out. I'll make a
Approval of agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second it.
We have any public comment? Correct? All right, we have I see a vote.
Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approved. Agenda approved. Okay, we move to
Good afternoon, directors. I just want to give a quick update on our toy drive Christmas tree giveaway that is happening on December 14th. You will start seeing some flyers up in town. I'm happy to announce that we do have some community businesses that are participating in donating toys as well as gift cards and Christmas trees this year. So things are looking good. We did have our fire department do a fill the boot and raised quite a bit of funds for the CHP toy drive, and CHP will be going out and purchasing toys with the money that they raised while they were here at the airport with filling a boot, which was quite unique. It went really well. And we're still looking for volunteers, and anybody that wants to help out, let me know. That's it.
thank you, Lynn.
Kathy did call me prior to the meeting and said she wasn't going to make it. She had an appointment
So,
just using make some comments.
go.
You know what? If Kathy's not going to be here then I just like to comment on the veterans ceremony that we had. It was very, very well done. Her guest speaker unfortunately had passed away, so we did have another pastor come and speak that was a veteran. We also had the kids from California cadet come out and do color guard, and it was very well attended.
Thank you. Okay, consent agenda.
I'll
Recommend
make it easy. Motion to approve the consent agenda items A and B.
I have a first and a second. Any public comment? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed? It's unanimous. And agenda approved. Action items. California Special District Association bylaws revision.
Oh, okay. I'll address it and Lynn can correct my mistakes. So CSDA is an agency that works with special districts in the state of California. You are a member, the district is a member of CSDA. CSDA has their own set of bylaws and they want to amend the bylaws. So as a member, you have the right to vote on that. I believe your agenda packet contained a red line version of the amendments to the CSDA bylaws. So I think if there were any questions on that, we'd be happy to answer it. Otherwise, it was just kind of it's more technical than substantive changes to the bylaws. So the staff is recommending approval of the bylaws to the CSDA. And if however the board votes, that will be passed on.
I'll motion to approve it. It's
Any public comment?
Second.
Second. We have a motion to approve and second. All those in favor?
aye.
Aye. All those,
Motion carried.
motion carries. Reports. Director of Operations.
Podium is like over here today. There you go.
Oh, don't move it.
I need my wingspan. There we go. All right. So big change in our operations counts. I say big, but we have, as we've been analyzing these further, noticed a pretty consistent increase month over month, year over year, as we've been growing here. We did see increase from October 2023 to October 2024. About 1,200 civilian operations, 58 military operations, and then in 2024, a little over 1,600 civilian operations, and then 190 military operations. So increase 388 civilian operations and 132 military operations. So math is hard. 520 operation increase from October of last year to October of this year. Most consistent trend has been those increases in military, which I think I mentioned every time I give this report, is greatly beneficial when not only for fuel sales, but also as we establish as a military supporting airport. Even though we've always been a military supporting airport, we've noticed that increase in growth and being able to provide a safe space for them to come get fuel, as well as some critical training opportunities as well. And with the military, we are also gearing up to prepare for another military exercise coming up this spring. Was pitched to me as not to the scale that our August exercise was, and then written to me very much within the scale that our August exercise was. So it does look like it's going to be a significantly sized operation, likely about 3 weeks between ours and allied air forces as well. So we are noticing inquiries from Germany, England, Italy, France, Canada that would like to participate in the exercise. So we are working on how we do that, as well as remaining respectful of our tenants and their operations. So I will be discussing that tomorrow during our tenant meetings on how we approach those, as well as being able to support these militaries in the exercises here at Mojave.
When is what's the timeline on that?
Looking mid to late January to middle of February right now.
Awesome. Thanks, Ariel.
Yeah, I've kind of got a question. I want to be delicate with it, and I'll just blow it out. How does the airport and the community, and not that we want to do this to support them, benefit from it? Probably the restaurant.
So definitely the restaurant, the airport, we get the fuel sales.
Okay.
And one big thing that we get are numbers. So, we keep a very close eye on these operations counts, for things like in the event that we want more federal funding, if they want to join a certain military airport grant program to get grants for the airport. Having these increases in operations allows us to be more alluring to those types of programs. Say, hey, this are all the things we provide for our nation's military. Please give us money, for lack of a better term.
How about the community itself? Is there any, do they eat at the restaurants? Do they buy fuel?
When we have the larger operations, so when we had the one in August, when we have the one in coming up in January, February, they support local rental companies, they support hotels, as well as local gas stations, providing fuel for those rental cars or for whatever they need to fuel, United Rentals, things like that. And then also they eat at the establishments here in Mojave as well, because they are here.
Yeah, I just think it's important that they're just not coming here and consuming, they're actually putting back.
Yes, they do. They do bring a lot. Had noticed when I went to get Subway, the line was particularly long during those weeks, but we are noticing that it does provide some benefit to the community as well.
Would it make sense to maybe give those places a heads up?
Absolutely. That is one thing that we had considered during the last one. I think we weren't fully anticipating when it was proposed to us, it was as a bear base, meaning they brought all of their stuff.
Sure.
I have never done bear basing as an Air Force personnel, so there's been all of their stuff, and I can already feel David laughing at me, plus hotels, and one of them had a Lexus, and everything in between. Ours was we get a tent and we eat out of little brown bags, but I was not anticipating that they would then be, throughout the community as well. So that is something we're looking like, hey, we will be doing you may see an influx during these dates. I will have to talk to our personnel on how much information I can give out. That's one thing we also want to be respectful of.
Well, I'm just thinking in terms of maybe staffing and supplies.
Yeah,
Just something
absolutely.
that's helps, it benefits them and it also benefits the customer, not having to wait or be out of food or.
I will definitely be giving a heads up to Starbucks.
I just don't tell them too much.
Ariel, do we still have the food trucks and stuff? Do we have food trucks that come out?
Not usually. Lynn knows more about that. There's something weird with where we are and Kern County's permitting,
Oh.
so we typically don't see that a lot.
Just curious.
So do remember that with Air Force bear basing, you don't get HBO in your cable package. So.
I don't know, could be.
My tent's got air conditioning.
Actually, a big part of this
Heater would
also
be
is
appropriate.
with those counts, it really helps towards our desire to get on the contract tower program.
Yeah. If they could do that 3 or 4 times a year, that would be.
Definitely help. At least some good learning opportunities for our ops staff as well that week. This is how you marshal. Out you go. Good luck.
It's good PR for us and our partners.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's fun. We like to be able to support. Lloyd loves to teach his guys on how to fix all the. He's not even listening. Broken roll-up doors, all those fun things. But other than, I don't know what's happening out there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Executive Officer.
Thanks, sir. I really wish, this is not a done deal, but I really wish Chuck could see this. This is the proposal we received from Mr. Natch and his company for the area by Bravo. Those would all be hangars. His proposal is to initially put in 40 GA hangars. And based on how that plan goes.
Diane can't see.
I didn't see you.
She's not up to look, take a look.
Well, I'm trying to be respectful. Go sit down.
So his proposal is 40 GA hangars initially with
There we
an
go.
option to develop the balance of the land off of Bravo to a total of roughly 100 GA hangars out there.
This is 95 here. This is one on top left.
Whoa,
Oh, yeah.
it's a heck of a proposal.
Yeah.
See if I want to see it.
So it is, I believe that this has legs. And additionally, local
Like this.
equity has an additional proposal in us for review,
Just trying to
for contract
Yeah.
review.
Can you point the location? I think I know.
But yeah, well, I'm trying to orient this with
Right in
what
here.
Right.
what
on
exists
the
already,
east
what
side?
exactly this is. Right there.
Bravo,
Yeah,
Bravo.
see the,
Ah,
okay.
okay, so
see the
north-
white spot down here?
all right, so this is north then.
Yeah, right here.
Oh,
So
98 units.
perfect world, everything comes to fruition. We get roughly round number 100 hangars here and local equity going in out here. Theirs would be more, call them executive style hangars, size and rates, probably executive jet types. So we're excited that there may be some traction there in the hangar world. It's been an initiative working. Like I said, I apologize, it does choke me up. Breaks my heart that Chuck can't see that because he
Really?
pushed so hard on that.
Yeah.
So, hangar update, I'll jump forward unless you have specific questions on it.
Go ahead.
The roughly the size of these?
Those are small GA hangars,
Okay.
how small though? Are we talking 30 by 40, 30 by
Which-
40?
30 by 40, round numbers. And his intent is to do it kind of like a condominium. So people could purchase, be part of undivided interest in the land, one blanket lease for the whole thing held by the condominium association, which would eventually gain the equity of that out of the developer's interest. So that's his initial concept. He fully acknowledges that that's going to have to go through a lot of legal reviews to make certain that we are doing everything exactly right.
Okay, so with the condominium concept, this is so far down the road, I'm not sure how useful the question is at this point. You're right, okay. Now what I'm hearing there is the exterior of the hangar is to be maintained by whoever built them, right? And then the interior is whoever bought them. And so things like, okay, who fixes the door and whatnot, it's just also something to think about.
Right, none of those come to us. We will take care of the taxiway, the roadway, external to the property. Everything inside the property would be responsibility of the property owners. And the intent is like a condo that would be compensated for with maintenance fees, et cetera. Right.
I guess my understanding of a condo is that the larger building is, managed by the condo association, and then your individual condo, you're responsible for the maintenance of the interior of it.
Right.
And so I just don't know how that division works with the hangar.
So
Since it's all exterior really.
So if you go back to Hawaii and their horizontal property regime, since most of their condos are up and down versus right and left, right? You really buy a block of air outlined by taint, right?
Yeah.
And then you have common interest in the balance of the property. And pretty much anything damaged in the common area is handled by the association and the appropriate fees that they reserve. But a condo can draft, and I'll defer to the legal side, a condo can draft their own covenants for how they are run. I think in a case like this, if you were to buy a hangar, you would have undivided interest in the lease of the land, but you'd probably own the entire hangar, probably. And
Yeah, I don't know if they would set it up, how they would set it up.
Right.
But their only interest in the land is the leasehold interest. Right. And it would be, continuing with the Hawaii thing, it would be like there are leases that expire at a certain point in time, and then the land reverts to the owner, and they can do whatever they want with it. So I assume this would probably be a 50-year lease.
so again, we haven't talked hard numbers yet, but they are very, very interested, and they're very interested in moving forward. I think they're pretty close to executing an option arrangement.
Well, wonderful. One way or another, I'm really happy that it's moving forward.
Yeah.
I'll nitpick the closer we get, but overall, just very thrilled.
And of course, the board will be involved in the decision-making process here.
Although if we're just doing a land lease, we would not be involved in the CC&Rs for the condo project. For one, it's none of our business.
And we don't
Second,
want-
for
It would
legal
all-
reasons,
it
we
would all go
don't.
through the county then.
So, what?
It would all go through the county then.
No, it would just go through whoever is the owner.
Right? We don't meddle in how Travel Launch conducts their business. We don't
Yeah.
meddle in how VG conducts their business. And it would be
Yeah.
particularly meddle.
Any more questions on this?
No.
Just curiosity,
Sure.
ingress, egress into this location, where would it come from?
There is a roadway,
I'm very
Right here.
familiar, and that's what I was, okay.
and there's utilities in that area. And Floyd, please feel free to chime in with any input you may have. And then, of course, the taxiway access is right there.
Okay.
Good. If there are no further questions on that, I'll jump ahead. I want to just compliment copiously Lynn, Nicole, and the whole team that they built that's helping with the Chips for Kids. Our highway patrolman had a meeting in my office with members of the staff. They're thinking over 1,000 kids will be there this year. They've made special provisions to reach out to Edwards Air Force Base and make sure those kids are included. And they're going to continue establish that the children of deployed parents will get preferential access as they would for the quote CHIP kids from the local area that maybe are fiscally challenged at home so that they could get something nice. Local entertainer Rat Pack Ricky has donated a set, so he'll come out and do Christmas music from 11 to 12 while people are setting up, and that's all going to Highway Patrol. We have a request in with Civil Air Patrol to work with Highway Patrol. They asked if we could get Civil Air Patrol out here and assist with parking and basic logistics, set up and tear down. Verbal okays on that, but I have yet to see that be a completed agreement by any standards. The Air and Space Force Association is going to kick in some manpower as well as some financial resources and toys. So the community's rallying with the work that California Highway Patrol is doing here, and the staff's effort is laudable. Questions on that?
Good.
A lot of good work with B3K. ESAT is a meeting that comes out of the B3K concept. Met with their new CEO this past week. Great meeting. They command good integration across the board, and they realize that especially in East Kern, we are a critical part of the business development and the growth of all of East Kern, along with some additional projects that are coming in the region that are going to be quite sizable. Great Starbase tour out here that Ops took care of. That is the 5th grade STEM program. The Starbase Academy is at Edwards Air Force Base now. And they brought a school from Tehachapi out here. The kids just absolutely loved it. A good, strong relationship in working with CivMil. CivMil helps us in a couple of ways. One is that it really entrenches our relationship with Edwards, and that mission has to remain really robust. We don't want any humbug or challenges with 2508 access. We don't want any concerns with Joshua. We've got to keep these relationships really robust. CivMil helps with that. Additionally, within the CivMil organization, just about everybody in the Antelope Valley that has some affiliation with business is involved. So it's a very viable opportunity to continue to push the Maskey enterprise for the community. So I think that's a good thing to continue to invest time in. I'm not putting a lot of money into that, but there is considerable amount of time, mostly mine, in going down there and maintaining that contact. I think that's very valuable.
If I may, on the CivMil side of it, you mentioned Joshua Approach. I don't suppose there's anything worth mentioning update-wise on Joshua Approach's paradigm.
I don't have anything concrete yet. The word I have is that they are going away as an FAA entity, and that Sport will be picking up that duty. I think that'll be interesting because Sport is not a control facility. It's what is it, a RIU? It basically gives advisory only, but they don't have FAA regulatory guidance or oversight. So
that has a huge impact to civilian IFR traffic in this area.
Yes.
It means now there's going to be a lot fewer overflights and a lot more VA. So it's pretty big quality of life hit for that side aerospace.
I also understand that deal is not in bed. At least that's the information I have. None of this is official.
Yeah.
But it's information I drag both from the past and my meetings at the base. Some walk-on things. AV Fuels had a couple of their executive staffs in my office a few minutes ago, just working together on fostering a continued robust relationship with AV Fuels. They're very delighted to be here, and we're delighted to work with them. And that we do have our tenant meeting coming up. Ariel will cover it, as I will be in Paho, looking at the Paho Truckee Airport and meeting with their director on Thursday. So she will cover that, and the fuel policy will go out to our mission partners at that meeting for review and action. and subject to your questions, directors.
I asked him what I have, so.
Okay, we're good. Board committees? I think we have any. Director comments on items not on the agenda.
Nothing from me.
So, wow, this is my last one, right?
All right, so let's talk about this for a sec.
Okay.
So the first Friday in December is when the newly elected directors take office. So December 3rd is your next regular meeting.
Wait a minute. I thought I had this set in my head, but the conversation. The next meeting, the new directors,
No. So December 3rd is this board.
Yeah.
And then that's Tuesday, and then that Friday, the new directors take office. Now, the question for this board and for David is, do you want to meet on December 3rd, given the Thanksgiving holiday? Because what that will mean for Lynn and staff is they'll have to have the board packet out next Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, because you're closed Thursday and Friday. So in order to meet on December 3rd, next Wednesday, you have to have the board packet out. So do you want to meet on December 3rd or not? If
To
you
do
do,
what?
well, that's the question.
That would be the regular meeting.
yeah.
So it's really, do we want to cancel the next regular meeting or not?
Yeah, do you want to cancel? And then that would be Diana and Bob's last meeting. Or if you canceled it, then this would be the last meeting. So I'm throwing that out there so the board can discuss it. I don't know if Len or David have input into any business that you may need
Well,
on
yeah.
December 3rd.
I think pertinent business would be something we would discuss in closed session with CEO evaluation. I have nothing for open session that justifies keeping the meeting, but for closed session we might, but I think that should be a discussion.
All right, so we can discuss that after closed session then.
But yeah,
That sounds good.
So that's kind of the calendar. Next Wednesday, get the board packet out. The district's closed Thursday, Friday. December 3rd is the next regular meeting. That would be the last one for the sitting board. Friday, the newly elected directors take office. They come in and sign the oath of office with you.
Yes, we'll send you the new open office of Kern County. Then we'll
Yeah, and then as soon as they sign that, they have taken office. They being the newly elected directors.
Yeah.
so are we having a,
And
Andrew.
Andrew Parker. And then what will happen is there will be a vacancy.
Right.
So we'll post the 15-day notice of vacancy.
When?
We'll do that on that Friday. I've already talked about
That's
this.
the 9th,
The 6th.
the 6th.
So it'll be that Friday or Monday. And then the new board will have 60 days to fill that vacancy. So I imagine that you would do that in January.
Yeah, I would think so.
So that's kind of how it lays out procedurally. And with the Thanksgiving's just weird this year because it's so late, which makes it kind of weird for the December first board meeting.
so we are meeting the 3rd.
It's up to you guys. I think it will depend on how the CEO performance evaluation goes in closed session.
Oh, okay, definitely. All right. So there's no more. So we're moving to closed session then.
Yep.
Right. All right, thank you guys for coming.